Here, Immigration CG to open more passport offices in Lagos. And more story says that Adegoke murder court sentences Adedoyin 2 orders to vet by hanging. NGE Pandef Oberevori Igbinedion Mark Namani Oshomole Shuaibu. Now talking about Dr. C. Omond, Dr. C here, owner of Dark Communications. A more story says employers must prioritize feeding habits of their workforce. Olori Egbe is actually coming up with that. And that's about it from the Vanguard newspaper this morning.
All right, to look at the Daily Post newspaper right here. The first story says Tinubu directs DSS to immediately vacate EFCC office in Lagos. Tinubu makes another set of appointments as he resumes office. Fuel subsidy reps ask Nigerians to be prayerful. Tinubu's inaugural speech, Arewa Youths, Ohaneze Afenifere take stand. Peace Corps, sexual harassment of students, prohibition, other bills Buhari failed to sign. And some more stories. OT freezes Abia accounts, sacks boards, executives. Kano Gubal, APC's failure to pay 700 naira stalls tribunal proceedings. And some more stories. Fuel subsidy. Reps ask Nigerians to be prayerful. I think I've taken that before. Court admits U.S. judgment on Tinubu's alleged $460,000 forfeiture for drug crime in Obi's petition. Timothy Adegoke, Hilton's Hotel's boss, Adedoyin 2 others sentenced to death by hanging. And some more stories. Timothy Adegoke as well. Heavy security presence as judgment set for today. And that was some hours before the announcement. Atiku Peter Obi failed to congratulate Tinubu after swearing in. And finally, on the 20 World Cup, concerns over Flying Eagles' chances.
All right, now to the Nation newspaper this morning, and these are featured stories. Stock market gains 1.5 trillion naira in Tinubu's policy direction. Gain is highest in 30 months. Naira firms up marginally. The Nigerian stock market yesterday gave a rousing welcome to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's policy direction. Intense bargain hunting for Nigerians. All right, more stories says petrol scarcity trails president's fuel subsidy is gone pronouncement. PDP LP open case before tribunal, and this says breaking vacate EFCC Lagos headquarters immediately. Tinubu orders DSS, and we have other stories just coming in. OPS more man that man back petrol subsidy remover. Tinubu Shetima resume. Fuel depots short amid fresh scarcity, and more stories says CBN state performed below average in financial management. Tinubu would deliver on his mandate. Chief of Protocols appointment shows Tinubu goes for the best. Edo APC chieftain greets Nigerians. Food Beverage Expo for June 13. Cleric uplift listeners with song on divine speed. And of course, Senate's Job Foundation drums up support for Akpabio and formed the entertainment arena. And this is talking about the Voice Nigeria Perez Road to Fame and Fortune. And of course, we take this also as a last one here from the sporting arena. And this says Super Falcons draw Chad or Ethiopia and 2024 Olympics women football qualifiers.
All right, the Guardian newspaper, before we go on that break, lawyers kick against calls to stop simultaneous judges' vacation. Angry youth set police station ablaze in Lagos. Another, that's gone away. Nationwide chaos, paying as stakeholders seek caution on subsidy removal. Population Commission 200 billion naira vote and botched 2023 census. Boss welcomes Tinubu, records highest gain in 2 years. Tinubu Shetima resuming Aso Villa as Nigerians await official appointments. Tinubu reinstates sanity as DSS, EFCC squabble over property in Lagos. NIS will focus more on passport insurance, staff welfare, says new AG. Akeredolu vows not to interfere in Ondo Assembly affairs. Kalu confirms partnership with Yari to produce next Senate President Deputy. Adedoyin 2 hotel workers to die by hanging for killing OAU student. NDLEA arrest members of fentanyl syndicate in Anambra. And finally, father bags life jail for defiling daughters. And that's the much that we can take from The Guardian. We'll head on to the commercial break now. When we return, we'll be back with the analysis. Do stay tuned.
32 FM 94.9.
Our people, they always talk, say, to get money, person must to work with your body. But since star 73342 hash with Glow don't enter the matter, now only your hand you need to win instant money on Green Lotto with your Glow SIM. Yes, so just dial star 73342 hash on your Glow line to buy Green Lotto tickets with your airtime. Play your favorite games, check your results, and get your winnings as airtime or direct transfer to your bank account. Because instant money don't day your hands, yo. Glow Unlimited.
Naija people with the yarn better tori abeg.
For Italian league, Osimhen and goals can't be like 5 and 6. Bruh! The Ballon d'Or remain no.
Jaruma, only you 250k for phone call, 1 million kwa for face-to-face meeting.
No one tells a story like we do. Stream live football, local and international shows on Showmax, Africa's original streaming service. Sign up at showmax.com.
Ìfẹ́ tí kò lábàwọ́n ni ìfẹ́ ìyá jẹ́. Bẹ́ẹ̀ kò sí ohun tó dùn tó bíi Indomie alájẹpọnu lákànlọ́. Nítorí náà, fi ìfẹ́ hàn pẹ̀lú Indomie.
Ó dé sí ọlọ́run fàánú bá mi ṣe.
Gbogbo aládùúgbò, ó yẹ ká gbójú kúrò lára èèyàn. Kájọlọ kẹ́pẹ́ ọlọ́run nínú ìpàdé àdúrà alágbára olóṣù mẹ́ta yẹn o. 72 hours with God. Ọ̀sẹ̀ ìjẹrẹ̀yà látọjọ́ Friday náà. Ní Sunday 11th June. Àkúrí tí ọlọ́run fún òní rẹ̀. Prọfẹ̀tà Táíwò Òjó bàbá ìsọjí orí afẹ́fẹ́. Help from above. Ìrànlọ́wọ́ látòkè. Ọjọ́ tó o bá ti ní ìrànlọ́wọ́ látòkè gbà. Ìlàkàkà dọ́pẹ́ gbà bẹ́ẹ̀. Nínú ìpàdé àdúrà yìí. Fẹ́rẹ̀ sí ọ̀run pẹ̀lú ilẹ̀kùn ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ ọjọ́ pípẹ́ máa ṣí. Nípasẹ̀ ìfàmì òrùnyàn lọ́rọ̀ aláyè lórí àwọn ìránṣẹ́. Àwọn olórin ẹ̀mí Bùkọ́lá kí Adéṣẹ́wọlé Jésù. Bísí Aláwìyé Àlùkò. Ìlàjà Akíntúndé Ọlọ́run sọ́bẹ̀. Gbẹ̀ngà Adénúgà. Bridget Adénúbí. Àtinúkẹ̀rí Májẹ̀mú. Prọfẹ̀tà Táíwò Òjó bàbá ìsọjí orí afẹ́fẹ́ máa sọ tẹ́lẹ̀. Bàbá ti wọnú àdúrà lọ́jọ́ Friday náà. Ìdájí lọ́jọ́ Monday 12 la máa ṣorí ọ̀fẹ́ o. Láti ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun tàbí Ìbàdàn. Ọ̀sẹ̀ ìjẹ́rẹ̀ ni ẹ máa bọ̀ Mẹ́síkà. Ẹ̀kúnrẹ́rẹ́ àlàyé ẹ máa pè 090-20-113558.
Babe, how you want to pay for baking costs? With small money where person they make.
Costs? No be to sabi bake like bro. No worry, I get plan.
You get plan.
I get super binge plan.
For whatever you want to learn on YouTube, you need a plan like the INT'L Super Binge Plan. Simply dial *141*514# now to enjoy 2 GB of data and 1 hour worth of free YouTube data every day for just 500 naira.
INT'L, the smartphone network.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned to 32 FM 94.9.
All right, you're welcome back. You're still on to Break It Down Peppers Review here on 32 FM 94.9. And of course, my name is Bolabo, famous call.
And I'm DENIKE&GBOLABO. Austin Dumo joins us this morning for the analysis. And of course, we'll just touch some of the stories.
All right, quickly, Austin, good morning.
Good morning.
It's good to have you back.
Thank you.
All right, quickly, let's look at the petrol subsidy. It's getting quite very interesting and more dimension to all of this. But it appears that Shiwaju is receiving a lot of backing here from all sides, talking about even the NNPCL now. And now, if you look at what Kiari is saying, 2.8 trillion naira spent on petrol subsidy, says Kiari. And of course, that money is still being owed by the federal government. The federal government actually spent that coming from the NNPCL, and that the federal government is still owing 2.8 trillion naira in terms of subsidy here. Now, to an average man on the street, it's still unclear how much more the NNPCL will say. It's now a company, not a corporation. Like we're made to believe that you're supposed to be making money, and it's more of business now. But for the average Nigerian, 2.8 trillion naira, how do we explain that it's been spent on subsidy?
Yes, the issue of subsidy would not allow the NNPC to function optimally as a business enterprise. That is why NNPC will support any audacious move of any government to actually stop the subsidy regime. The administration of subsidy in Nigeria have always been shrouded in secrecy. It's more or less like the more you look, the less you see. The process is not transparent at all. The implication of what NNPC has said is that the about 4 trillion provision for 2023 budget for the first half of the year on subsidy, that they've expended over 3 trillion that the federal government have not been able to pay. Let me also bring to your notice that close to 2 years down the line, NNPC have not been able to remit a dime into the federation account, despite what the law says that every income should accrue to the federation account. So what NNPC simply does is that all the money that is made as a result of crude oil and other of its joint venture businesses will be used as what is called under recovery, the other name for subsidy. So NNPC simply write them off by its own books, which does not profit an average Nigeria. I think the argument of subsidy, whether we like it or not, I think the time has come for subsidy to go. And don't also forget too, the immediate past president, Muhammadu Buhari, has technically removed subsidy. That's just the point. What we should see is for this government to come up with a template, with a modality of how practicable it can be in terms of cushioning the effect.
But then, sorry to continue, is there an audited process of the cash flow from NNPC that we can authoritatively say, as a matter of fact, that indeed the NNPC has expended trillions of naira on subsidy? Who audits the NNPC as it stands?
That's the issue. NNPC is the sole reporter of PMS. That is being done by Prozi, not as if they bring it in by themselves. They hire a private contractor that brings PMS in on behalf of the NNPC. You understand? They don't have a functional depot in Nigeria now. They also hire a private depot to actually be able to store these products. If you look at the issue of transparency and accountability within the oil sector, especially NNPC as a case study, is like a mirage. It's a tall order in Nigeria. That is why economic experts has posited that removal of subsidy will now open the NNPC to the limelight. That, oh, what are you making? It is simply just enough for NNPC to say that all we have made so far is going into the servicing of fuel subsidy. So when subsidy is removed and government comes up with the modality on how to cushion the effect, because you must cushion the effect, you must make a refinery functional, and in the absence of that, you must channel these trillions of naira into other area of public service that can cushion and ameliorate the plight of the people. That is all what we are talking about. The president said on Monday that, subsidy is gone. Marketers shut down their fuel station. On the flip side, if the president had announced at the Eagle Square that PMS will now be sold for 50 naira, would there be massive action? Does that drastic action from petroleum marketer? They know that subsidy regime profit a few number of big businessmen in Nigeria. And the government is saying no to that. All we are asking for is a modality. Let government come up. Let them engage the Labour Congress. Let them engage critical stakeholders. Look at NNPC. NNPC is handicapped because the PIA has opened up the NNPC to be like a private and a business venture. But the issue of subsidy regime is making NNPC to be handicapped. So if we liberalize the sector, of course investors will come. Things might be tough at the initial stage, but at the end of the day, we'll get it done. Let me remind you, towards the end of last year, stroke early this year, we were buying fuel for as high as 350. Subsidy was not removed. So let's remove subsidy and see how it goes. NNPC must be transparent as far as the true landing cost is concerned, because we have too many figures from the NNPC.
Are we guaranteed of that transparency? I think that's the question here.
That is what every of the presidential candidate before election promised, and one of them has emerged, and the action has started. So the issue of subsidy is gone. It's not that, oh, you deceive us to vote for you, now you are in power, you are removing subsidy. There have always been conversation of subsidy removal even
Austin,
before
don't
the
you
election.
think that it trails around the timing of removal of subsidy? Because things have been pretty hard. We've had back-to-back hardships from last year. We're riddled with a lot of fuel scarcity. We also had the Naira crunch that spilled into this year. It feels like the people haven't had a break. And years before now, subsidy could have been removed when things were not this bad and inflation was not hitting this hard. So don't you think it's about the timing, and that's why it's so much complicated?
Well, it is not about the timing, Denike. Incidentally, I bought for 220 yesterday. You understand? If you look at the issue of timing, any government that assumes office, there is this enormous goodwill at the initial stage. Let me say the first 6 months, that the government has the capacity and the support of the people to do whatever it wants to do. If you talk about the timing, how about President Muhammadu Buhari, who has made provision for subsidy till June ending? So the issue of subsidy removal is a time bomb. The issue of the suffering of Nigeria is like a work in progress, if you ask me. So we need the government that will come and say, oh, we are going to remove subsidy, this and this we are going to do, judiciously using and rechanneling the fund accruable from subsidy payment. That is what we are talking about.
Before we move on, Austin, but really, do you think Nigerians are really bothered about the removal or the uncertainty of that pronouncement made by Bola Ahmed Tinubu? Because obviously, many of the marketers do not understand what it means that subsidy is gone. Is it immediate? Of course, the president has said that may not sources from the presidency, but then there's a lot of uncertainties here. And of course, making it have much more like panic buying, and a number of people have been asking questions. Don't you think the uncertainty of that particular pronouncement is what is causing all of this chaos?
Most of the time, we misinterpret every comment, especially when it comes to subsidy regime and petroleum sector. The statement of the president is not ambiguous. You understand? Marketer chooses to interpret it the way they want it. Why shutting down your fuel station? If you want clarification, for example, you look for clarification. In short, marketers, they themselves know that subsidy must go, but they hide under the subsidy regime to inflict pain on the people and make excess gain from the people. There is time frame, Bolabo. There is time frame from July the 1st. Subsidy administration will officially end in Nigeria. That was what President Muhammadu Buhari bequeathed to Nigerians. That was the document. The new president has come to say that, oh, there is no provision for subsidy any longer in the budget, so it is gone. It is gone for good. Let me handle it the best way I can handle it. I just pointed it to you. If the president's statement at the Eagle Square suggests that a liter of PMS will be sold at 50 naira, will marketer find it difficult to understand? Does it mean that you can't understand the meaning of the president language and you decide to shut down your fuel station? Let me tell you for the record, DPR and enforcement agency, they are all over the country. They are enforcing the issue of official pump price. Sell above pump price, lose your license, lose your operating license. We want decisive action.
Well, Austin, we've dwelled on this story for a long time, but I just wanted to quickly mention that there's this headline, 11.35 trillion naira spent on refineries in 13 years, according to the reps, and they're probing and all of that. And according to this, they've spent a lot of money on the refineries. Now, spending all of this money, and there's nothing that has come out of it because the cost of rehabilitating these refineries, I have all the figures here, but it's a lot of money, and that could have probably built another refinery.
Yes, because we cherish so much the idea of maintenance than a new structure in the country, and that is so bad. And we are saying an end must come to all of this. This idea of bulk passing when it comes to subsidy administration, I think it has to go. Of course, there is going to be a lot of hardship, a lot of pain. That is why the government must justify the means. Let's get down to business and see how it goes. That is for turnaround maintenance. We have refineries in the country that could not refine a barrel of crude for a year, and the federal government is spending billions of naira on staff welfare and turnaround maintenance. And I laugh when they say no work, no pay when workers are on strike. And some people stay in a refinery making millions of naira as salary and allowances every month without anything to show for it.
All right, the Oyo State Police Command on Tuesday arrested 78 suspected members of the disbanded park management system for allegedly planning to cause civil disorder in Ibadan, the state capital. Now, of course, the popular auxiliary, and according to this report, they stormed the hideout and they arrested some people with arms. There are questions because they were paraded and the arms, I mean, we can even see the pictures right here. The questions like, where did they get funding to buy such weapons? Because these weapons are definitely not cheap.
Yes, they are definitely not cheap. They work for the state government. That is just the truth. It is because the center can no longer hold. And we want the governor of this. It is the Ajimobi style that is most appropriate for these individuals in the transport union. Look at the enormous privileges and opportunity this man has enjoyed under Seyi Makinde. And yet, he could still decide to wage war against the same governor, against the same government that has accorded him such privileges. Before Makinde came on board, he was somewhere. He was incarcerated, nowhere to be found. Now he has made so much money, and today you want to turn against the state government. I think it's uncalled for. So let us not, because of the purpose of election, allow these people to do something and get away with it. Of course, removing him could be like a popular opinion of the people, because a lot of people have complained before now and the governor is not looking in that direction. Perhaps the governor has seen that, oh, let me align with my people and just allow this man to go. And don't also forget the cross of the matter. This man had to, with his team, wage war against a rival faction on the day of the swearing in, right in the residence of the governor. That is an assault. And the governor had no choice than to wade the big stick that all of us have been pressurizing him to wade all along. So these people, the point is that whatever privilege you give to them, one day they will abuse such privilege. And that is where we have found ourselves. So the police have been able to take charge. If you look at the streets this morning, even from yesterday, everywhere is a kind of dry. You could even notice free flow of traffic, because at popular junctions, they drive against traffic, they do all manner of things, they are so lawless and everything. And we have said an end must come to this. And the governor has decided to take that action. So be it for now.
All right, let's go to Kano State and 241 billion naira debt left over by Ganduje's administration. And now you have Yusuf saying, that's the new governor, that this is very disheartening to start off with in his administration. Would we say that explains why Ganduje did not even attend the inauguration ceremony of Yusuf? Although he said, as a matter of fact, that they belong to different political parties and he was away in Abuja. And of course, he doesn't want a clash between his supporters and that of Yusuf. Now, 241 billion naira debt. Where does Yusuf start in Kano State?
Yes, it should start from somewhere. Governance is not easy. This is applicable
with that kind of debt.
Yes, Golabo. That is applicable to almost all the states in the federation, including the federal government. I just read the report this morning that Buhari administration is bequeathing a 16 trillion project debt, ongoing projects that have not been completed, to the new administration. We are not hearing much noise because they are of the same party. You understand? Seyi Makinde has started the second time. Nobody is hearing anything. Does it mean that Oyo State is not owing? If it were to be a new government from another political party, you start hearing revelation. Yusuf have been contested election in that state. He has gotten to business. Don't forget the over 200 billion debt that he's talking about. A time will come, it will no longer make any meaning, because people will tell him, you have been in governance, let's see what you can also offer. You understand? So for me, it's applicable to all the states in the federation. Is it okay? I will tell you no.
But wouldn't that amount to borrowing for the new governor?
It amount to see some of these outgoing governors, some of these immediate past governors even borrowed money in the twilight of their administration. Their state House of Assembly approved loan for them in the twilight of the administration. Seyi Makinde, State House of Assembly, approved a 2 billion naira loan for him, I think a week or two before swearing in ceremony. Imagine if the new government were to be from the opposition party. This is what they have turned the country to. Financial recklessness here and there on the part of the federal government, on the part of various state government across the federation. But if it is of the opposite party, you hear comment like this and what have you. It is indeed bad. Abba Yusuf that is talking today will also replicate the same thing while leaving office. That is their characteristic. When Ganduje came on board, he vilified Kwankwaso administration, of which he was a deputy. And at the end of the day, look at what is giving Kano State now, and so on and so forth. So they are all like that. Politics in Nigeria and politicians, they are all best of the same feather, irrespective of their political party.
Also, when we come back from the break, we need to touch on the story of the court sentencing Ramon Adedoyin to death by hanging over the murder of the OAU student. And when we return, we'll definitely touch on that story. Do stay with us.
You're listening to 32 FM 94.9.
Gbogbo wa la ní irú ọjọ́ ọ̀la tó ń wá, ìpele kan tó kàn láti ibi tá a wà, àmúṣe ọjọ́ ọ̀la tó dára ju tòní lọ, àti àǹfààní tá a ní láti ṣe wọ́n láṣeyọrí gẹ́gẹ́ bí ojú inú wa ṣe gbòòrò tó. Tẹra mọ́ fífi ojú inú wò ó ní báyìí tó ní àǹfààní láti ṣe.
Airtel, a reason to imagine.
Naija people with the yarn better tori abeg.
For Italian league, Osimhen goals can't be like 5 and 6. Bruh, the Ballon d'Or remain no.
I'm a different one on this one. Her father picked some boy over his own daughter as CEO.
No one tells a story like we do. Stream live football, local and international shows on Showmax, Africa's original streaming service. Sign up at showmax.com.
My friend, you don't buy new mattress?
Yes, so they even dash me bag of rice join.
For real?
It is real. Buy any Mocha Flora or Mocha Wellbeing Regina mattress with 2 pillows and get a bag of rice free. Visit any accredited Mocha dealer nationwide to purchase. Offer valid while stocks last. Terms and conditions apply. Mocha, adding comfort to life.
This is what it sounds like when you mindlessly munch away at your snacks. Boring, dull, routine snacking.
And this is what it sounds like when snacking is loud, proud, gooey, chewy, playful, joyful, and all-round fun. Because when joyless snacking attacks, we'll be there to fight back. Snack out loud with Fanta.
Capture life's moments in stunning clarity with the new Techno Camon 20 series. With sensor shift OIS technology on a 108 megapixel ultra-wide camera. Enjoy the best smartphone experience brought to life in vivid colors with its 120Hz AMOLED display. That's not all. The Camon 20 series is the perfect steady night portrait master, so you can take splendid low-light photos at night out with friends. Buy any Camon 20 series today and get free gifts plus up to 11 GB MTN data for up to 6 months. Don't miss out. T's and C's apply. Techno, stop at nothing.
32 gladiators embarked on a quest to become Europe's finest. Many ran out of steam. Others fell to the sword. Only one team can cross the gates into Istanbul, where the treasure lies. And only one can be crowned champions of Europe.
And they're toying with them. Bernardo Silva! You don't say that!
Will Pep Guardiola and the citizens finally bring home the much-coveted Champions League trophy, or will the Nerazzurris repeat the heroics of 2010? It's the UEFA Champions League Final 2023, and 32 FM 94.9 will bring pictures, unbeatable commentaries, and quality analysis from Istanbul to Ibadan. Live at the Racecourse Amphitheatre at Damasinga on the 10th of June 2023. There will be side attractions starting up from 12 noon, which will set the tone for Europe's biggest club competition final between Manchester City and Inter Milan. Games like snooker, table tennis, ludo, ayolokmo, chess, Scrabble, and many more will be available for your pleasure. There will be VIP seats. For reservations or sponsorship inquiries, please call 0703-476-7684 or 0703-602-1608. This event is proudly sponsored by Imperial Blue and powered by your Joy Station 32 FM 949. Champions League final in Ibadan. Don't be left out. This event is absolutely free.
32 FM 94.9.
right, you're welcome back. And of course, it's still the Break It Dawn Papers review here on 32FM 94.9. And of course, Austin Iduma is still with us in the studios, but we'll open the phone lines now and also take your comments on our socials. Do remember we're live on Facebook, 32FM 949 Ibadan, both on Facebook and on YouTube. The numbers are 070-55000-949 or 080-97000-949.
All right, let's quickly touch on the Dr. Ramon Adedoyin story. He's been found guilty and sentenced to death by hanging over the murder of Timothy Adegoke, former student of the Obafemi Awolowo University, and we all know that story very much. When I followed the trail of the comments, a lot of people had one question: would the judgment go through? Because he's such a popular hotelier, and according to reports, some people say he also owns a particular university, and they think that justice will be bought and not prevail.
At this level, I think it becomes extremely difficult. He has some other level of court he can go to in terms of appeal. This is a clarion call and a learning point for all the big guys in the society who feel that they can always do something and get away with it. I will tell you for free that this sentence has come. The least he could ever get, even in higher court, is life sentence. Because even death by hanging, governors will not sign off. That's another thing. You understand? But we must believe in the judicial system. When I saw it yesterday, I was elated. This is the biggest story, as far as I'm concerned, that at the end of the day, justice can be served. So people believe that once they have money, they are automatically above the law. So he couldn't buy justice to this level. Let's see, you and I. A lot of people believe that the case will even be swept under the carpet.
True.
Now that justice has come, this same set of people are still asking, would this push through? Let's see how it goes.
But the question is, will the governor sign the death sentence?
That is what I'm saying. If the governor refused to sign death sentence, as far as they always do, Adedoyin has been sentenced to death by hanging. That is a judgment. The highest he could get, the next he could get to it is life imprisonment. You understand? Right, it's a good one for the system.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Balkis on audio, and I'm calling from Ibadan.
All right.
And greetings to the analysts in the studio. My contribution is regarding Mukaila Auxiliary that is on the run. Honestly, if he were a grateful person, by now he should be singing the praises of Seyi Makinde for even giving him the opportunity to serve. That position does not belong to his lineage, so it can't be there forever. So he should be appreciating for giving him the opportunity to serve, not inciting his followers to start wreaking havoc in the city of Ibadan. Then I must commend Makinde for taking that bold step because it's long overdue. God bless Nigeria. God bless Ibadan. Well done. Good morning.
All right. Thank you very much. 0705 500949 and 0809 7949. We're also live on our Facebook pages, 32FM 949 Ibadan. Okedi Rababatunde on Facebook says, why is governor associating himself with a thug and ex-convict? We have good people in the state who can do the needful. Let the state take control. Hopefully the government will allow the court to do the needful. There are enough evidences to prosecute the ex-convict. Notably, the law-abiding citizens are watching on how the matter will be handled. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
All right, we'll take this from Raja Fiz Abiola Raja. He said, good morning, DENIKE&GBOLABO. About the prescription of PMS by Oyo State government is a welcome development, but the head of the prescribed PMS must be found and arrested by all means by the security agencies because it needs to account for all havoc he has caused in the state and brought into book at the end of the day. Therefore, this system needs to be reformed. The government should be guarded to no appointments to group of thugs to system again.
Hello.
Right. That's lengthy.
Hello, good morning.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning. Yes, we can hear you.
you.
Please make your point.
This is Onolapo Okazin from Ibadan.
All right.
Now, the current food scarcity we are facing is a test of how administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is going to be. So you need to be decisive. Are you getting it? Because those people are just changing with Nigerians. Okay, if it happens that the government says, okay, we reduce the pump price, they will be telling you that they never change their pump prices. Are you getting it? Immediately the announcement was made, you change the stuff overnight. The government needs to be decisive, and it can be led by the state governors. Like Oyo State governors should be decisive in the sense that let him send out a monitoring team to just go to this filling station and go through their invoices right from 2 days ago. those people that spent above the normal pump price, they should be sanctioned. May God help us.
All right, thank you very much. Some more comments here. Okedere Babatunde says, we are ready to live with the final removal of subsidy effective from 1st July 2023. Why are marketers so callous? Let the regulators move around and make some of them scapegoats, just as Edo State Governor warned. All right, 0705 5949.
All right, let's take this from Omotai Oluwarotimi Onobamiro. She says the same thinking too. I remember Goodluck Jonathan saying he didn't used to wear shoes when he was young. We Nigerians must make sure we do not choose mediocres to position of power.
Hello, good morning.
I think the network is not clear. You see how there could be no transparency in the NNPC because it is a cabal organization. The first management, the start beginning from Mele Kiari, belong to the same region, placed together at the same ground. As what you need to have another set of officials and transparency. Let me tell you, I thought was maybe to boggle their deed on this case. You recall that initially, transparency was now from the Federal High Court in Abuja. Semi Falano, asking to the court to transfer the case to us. That is why we have this. So, followers of that unfortunate incident, leading to the untimely death of Muki, would like to see justice done. And those who committed that massive managing to mount prosecuted and punished. However, in order to prevent an injustice, no man is to be concluded by the first judgment. But that if he apprehends himself to be agreed, he has another cause to which he can resort to for relief. I'm sure his counsel will appeal the judgment because it was convicted based on circumstantial evidence. Unfortunately, Dr. Adudun, you refuse to enter the witness box to defend himself. I'm sure that the circumstantial evidence, if positive and direct, will be sufficient to support his conviction.
All right, thank you very much. Austin, what's going on with the DSS and the EFCC? There seem to be some news around the president ordering one party to vacate the office of the other.
Yes, these two agencies are supposed to work together for the good of the people. They are not supposed to be at loggerheads. This issue have been protracted. It didn't just start today. The Ikoyi Lagos office of EFCC allegedly belonged to the DSS. They have made several attempts in the past to ensure that they reclaim the office back. I think what happened yesterday was just to draw the attention of the new president to an existing problem. And
Hello. Hello. Please hold that up. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Austin. And welcome back, Madam Baki. I would like to ask Mr. Austin, should we live with the subsidy remover or otherwise? That's my question for you. Thank you.
All right. The floor is yours.
Yes, on the DSS, I think the manner in which that was carried out was too bad. They had to lock them out for a security agency. That was way out of the line. Of course, the president has given his order. The issue should be resolved amicably. We need to prepare our mind and live with the eventual subsidy remover. That's the truth. We saw it coming. President Muhammadu Buhari made that attempt and he decided to pass the buck to the new administration. We saw it coming.
Austin, it's one thing to say it coming. It's another thing to have the capacity to survive it.
DENIKE, we will all have the capacity to survive it.
Are we speaking by faith?
It's going to be very painful. You understand? People have bought PMS for as high as 300, 500 towards the end of last year, with subsidy being paid, trillions of naira. That's the worst part of it. President Muhammadu Buhari mismanaged the downstream oil sector in the country. We pay highest subsidy in the history of the country. We pay highest pump price in the history of the country. So subsidy need to go, honestly.
We need to go. We need to go.
But I think we take this from Sulaiman Sharif, and he's talking about 16 trillion uncompleted projects Mr. President inherited from past administration.
All right. Thank you so much, Austin Dumu, for doing this with us this morning. And thank you for joining us, dear listener. I am DENIKE&GBOLABO.
And I'm Gbolabo, Famous School. Bye for now.